Questions 19 and 20 are a little less complicated than the absolute value inequalities. For number 19, I want to simply solve both inequalities so that I can graph it. So I'm going to add 8 and add 8, and then skip down underneath and say x is greater than or equal to negative 2. And over here I would add 5 and add 5. I get 2x is less than 2. And when I divide by 2 on both sides, I get x is less than 1. So I want both of these conditions to be in play. So I'm going to say negative 2 is over here, 1's over here. Negative 2 gets a closed dot because it has the or equal to, but 1 gets an open dot because it does not. And it's an and inequality, so I will shade here in between my two dots. Now, I also want to do interval notation, so if I read my graph from left to right, the first solution occurs at negative 2. And the solutions continue until I get to 1, but 1 is not a solution. You can do something very similar for number 20. It's an or inequality. I'm going to start by distributing here, and I get 15x minus 6 is less than 24. I'll add 6 to both sides and then jump down underneath and say 15x is less than 30. Divide by 15. I get that x is less than 2, or. And then I do the second one. So I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. I get 2x minus 2 is greater than 4. If I add 2 to both sides, I get that 2x is greater than 6. Divide by 2, and I get x is greater than 3. So I want to be less than 2 or greater than 3. And so I'm going to box that in. So I've got a 2 and a 3. They're both open dots. And because it's an or inequality, I'm going to shade towards the extremes, towards the right over here and towards the left over here. When I write this in interval notation, I'm going to say that we start at negative infinity and go to 2, and then stop, but 2 is not included. And then we continue on with no solutions for a little bit, and then we go to 3, and then that continues on forever in the other direction. So this would be my interval notation. Remember, an and inequality is going to shade in between, an or inequality is going to shade to the extremes.